So it's Saturday today, working in the backyard. Continue the video on the taxi. Motor is where's it at? Right there. See that? Looks like an elephant trumpet right there. Well, anyways, I really haven't been recording the process of me doing the wiring, just because it's so time consuming, and like I have to be straight focused on that. If not, if I'm recording and stopping, and I feel like it messes my flow on work up. So I'm just gonna show you guys where I'm at with it. All right, there it is. So the wiring is pretty much all wrapped up, the engine harness side. I had to put the intake tube to make sure that, you know, my measurements and everything for the harness, everything was correct. But got all my sensors on there, got everything all in a adhesive shrink tube, got my coils on. So that's where I'm at with the wiring. Back here, it's just basically ready to get terminated into the Maven bolt connector that I used on the firewall. All right, taxi's out the cave. Got the motor over here. Gonna have to remove the intake manifold so I can get the chains on the hoist onto the block so I could get that in there. But I wanted to get some footage and some pictures of it before I drop it in. All right, hoist is out. Engine's ready to go back in. Got my boy Victor out here, try to help me out. Get this thing in. Just like that, the motor's back in the taxi. Man, this is so exciting. Finally seeing the motor back in the car. Got a lot of wiring ahead of me, but it's all right. I'm gonna get this car pushed into the tent. Weather's kind of looking like it's about to rain. Got my workbench inside already with all my wiring and whatnot, and my tools. Let's get to it. So the Maven quick connect is all wrapped up. So the engine harness is all done, 100%. I'm starting to figure out how I'm going to be doing all my fuel line plumbing. Got all my fittings and whatnot right here on the workbench. So that's next. Making progress on the fuel rails. Let's look under here. So down here, see that fitting right there? That's coming from the back two ports of the fuel rails. Goes to a Y block. It's a -10 into a -12. So the feed from the fuel pump is going to go into that 12 right there. And then got my two fittings up here on these fuel rails, which come through the backside over here into my fuel regulator. And then down here in the bottom, I'm going to put a straight, and that's the one that's going to be the return into my fuel tank in the back. So I got the taxi in my lift area finally. Got it out the tent where I had it. I was working on it inside there for the past couple days, but finally got it in the lift area. I needed to raise it up so I could finally run the lines for my breather tank, basically the puke tank, which is the catch can. Multiple ways of calling it, but I got to plumb this line right here from the valve cover on this side, and then this one over here as well to the tank in the back, which is back here. I'll show you guys what it looks like. So it's not like your traditional catch can. So they're called puke tanks. This vents out into atmosphere. Sorry about that if it was loud, but it's going to connect to this tank right here. So this tank right here is my puke tank, which is a catch can / breather tank. But yeah, so got two fittings right here, one for each side. And then in the back of it over there, there's a drain, which drains out to the bottom. I'll put an oil pan down there and catch it. And then as well, I have to run the return. This is my fuel cell. I got to run the return from the fuel regulator that's up in the front of the car since I already have the feed all wrapped up. Now I just got to do the return. So get ready to raise this up on the lift. Talk about snug fit. It's nerve-wracking making that hole. Only got one shot. But making progress. So these are my lines right here that I'm going to be using to route that right there is a -10. That's my return. On all this stuff right here is a -12. -10 fittings. Then I got some -12s right here. So that's what's going to connect to the puke tank in the back. So let's start making some lines. All right, updates on the fuel lines and the breather tanks. So the lines off the passenger side, which are those up there, are coming along inside the frame rail right here, and then crosses over through the bottom bar. Let me get this over here, better view. And it goes along here to my fuel filter. That's the feed for the fuel line. Then this one right here is the breather tank, which is going over the anti-roll bar. Take a look at the driver's side, same thing. Goes along here through the frame rail, goes up under the bar right here. Everything's nicely P-clamped and zip tied down. Working my way back. So I have that's my return. That's one of my catch can lines. And then the other one is up there. So I'm running 3 lines total to the trunk right now. But everything's coming out nice. But that's gonna do it for this video. Gonna be ending it off here. We'll continue with some more progress on the next episode. Peace.